We're here at the Bracebridge Resource Management Center today. Going to take a run across Area 51, which is a really fun little trail that I really love. I'm going to run this trail from the north to south direction, mostly because I prefer to hit the final rock feature in a downhill. On a leisurely, super hot day like today, it's much nicer just to take a casual ride through there and enjoy the space. Area 51 is a single block. It's set in a really kind of nice picturesque area that goes through a couple of different varieties of landscape and through a fairly swampy little area with a lot of leek growth, which is interesting to smell, to say the least, and then comes out on the other end, as I was saying, on a big part of the Canadian Shield, which is always exciting. All right, let's take a look. Nice loamy ground, a few roots here and there, nothing too absurd. The local trail guys have done a great job. Nice little whale back here with a nice drop in, rock roller into some berms, and this part is really fun going the other direction, so totally understand why a lot of people have strong preferences as to which direction they go. This might be one I need to film from both directions. Actually, now that I think about it, that's a great idea, because that last roller was a bit of an interesting piece to go up. So as you can see, there aren't a lot of line choices coming through here in this direction. You're basically going to want to take the smoothest transition through, and then the up the middle of that one, just to hold a good line for the uphill turn. This trail really gives a great sampling of the types of riding available in the Muskoka area, and lets you spread your wings a little bit if you're not a tech rider. So you can get out there and see what it's all about. Interesting split in the trail here. Again, this is one of those spots where the builders have given you some great line choices. There's a lot of discussion over the difficulty level and wanting to make this trail into a trail with a blue variant in addition to the black. So some spots you'll find there's an opportunity to do some crazy tech stuff, and now a bypass going around it. So this one, again, going this direction, not too crazy. If you come in this one to the right, you've got some root rock tech you can deal with, of course, or take the bypass to the left. But a great spot to get, well, rock rash, I guess. And we're going to find numerous spots like this one where we've got the end of a rock cut just sort of dropping off and giving you the opportunity to practice your get over it skills, just enough to push you a little bit and just enough to really be a lot of fun going the other direction. So again, going north to south, in this case this is going to be an up, and you're going to you're going to be thinking about how you want to do this. There's a bit of a bypass here, not really. Honestly, it really is one of those spots where, you know, you're on a black trail, so this is going to be just regular riding, not necessarily a feature per se. For the time being, I'm going to stop talking about these ones because honestly, I know, again, the GoPro really doesn't pick this kind of stuff up well to give you an idea of angles and stuff, but this is relatively common on the trail, so I'll let these go at that unless I find one that's got significant interest. They've been actively working the trail to build up some of these berms, which is great. Now, this is a really great roller coming the other direction. It's pretty steep. I don't think I've seen anybody try to go up this one. It's generally always the bypass, but I will feature it here just because it is a bit of a crazy piece that I know there are guys out there that can do this quite easily. That is not me. This is real. Okay, so coming up on this one, I mean, there's lots of grip there, right? But even getting into it, you've not got a lot to start with from trail to rock. And if I go over here to the side, you might get a little bit better an idea of what we're talking about here. A little more, maybe a little more than 45. So pretty steep. Again, I've run into a lot of guys that are not even willing to come down this one. So I think on a trail where people won't go down, well, it is what it is. I know I've hit this one a few times coming down it on the right hand side, which would be the left, obviously coming the other direction, and crossing over these roots, which was a little bit scary. But I can see that they've really redefined the trail here to avoid the rooty part and give a lot more traction. So that's pretty cool, actually. Well, I think I might miss some of that rooty stuff. It's definitely a lot safer this way, no question about it. Here's a cool little hit. I don't know if a lot of people ride this one. It really doesn't look like it, but it is kind of fun to bump over it. It's kind of unexpected going around a corner, but once you know it's there, especially going north to south, it's a lot of fun to hit and just carve through. Just a little thing, but kind of fun. This one's not a bad one for a little harder tire pressure. I am pretty low pressure in here and getting a lot of roll. Depending on your riding style, and in my case, obviously on your weight as well, you might want a little more pressure. And then there was this. Tech climbing like crazy to your left. Again, something that I love to come down, not going up that one. Off to the right here, entirely more reasonable and totally attainable, is your bypass. Still not a blue by any means, but good to know that you've got this as an option coming through here. As this turn kind of sneaks up on you a little bit. So looking at this one, lots of cool rock features. This is Muskoka, expect it. And this side over here has a good line or two through it. I'm going to stick with one. I can see there's more than one here, off to the left and down through the center right. And then through down here is pretty smooth, really. But again, let's have a look from the top because it is a little intimidating from the other side. Lots to climb up. This one sneaks up on you because it is fairly steep, but again, not outrageous. If you're expecting it, it's totally doable. If you've done it once or twice, it's quite easy. But for somebody that hasn't ridden this style of thing for a while, it's a bit of a, I mean, here, let's look at it this way. Go down, straight down here. If you can't stop, you hit the tree and fall on the jagged rocks. So I can see where that's going to freak some people out. Wow. This one's a little easier on the right. If you don't slow down too much, like that. And actually kind of fun. More Muskoka. More Muskoka. You're going to want to choose your line and your gearing very carefully through here. As you can see, you can get thrown off your game pretty quick in that one. I'm not going to do an edit on that one, but I just keep it in mind coming through this direction. There's some hit sections that you don't want to mess with too bad, unless you're out for a day of sessioning fun. More Muskoka. Now, two line choices coming out of here. Southbound to the left. As you can see, we're at the tail end of this trail. There's a lot of rock feature here in a little space. To the left, you're going to start your rock feature early. And this really is kind of a bypass to the right, but more for if you're riding south to north than if you are north to south. I would say to just hit this one if you're comfortable with a little bit of rock, because it is kind of fun. But you can certainly appreciate coming up the bypass on the other side. And again, for the bypass, coming off of this rock, there's a really nice flowy stream into that, and coming out of a really nice flowy section. So if you wanted to maintain that feeling, by all means, stay to the right as you come out of here. All right, coming through here, you're going to want to catch this one just to the right of center as you come off of that rock, and then stay to the right as you get through this one to avoid that sketchy line to the left I almost hit, because that one's not a lot of fun. Again, a couple of choices here, up or down. depending on your tastes and preferences. There's a center line here through the roots. That's, well, frankly, it's just stupid, so don't do that, because it'll hurt. I'm gonna take the easy way, because it's hot in it. Really hot. Hop that back tire over. So, again, a couple little Muskoka-esque rock features in here. A drop here, a drop there. As we come down the hill, pretty rough stuff going the other direction, but down, really not that bad, unless you're a tire, in which case it really kind of sucks. And that brings us to the end of Area 51, north to south.
Thanks everybody for joining me on the journey today. If you have a trail in Ontario you'd like to see highlighted on the channel, please comment below. And if you like this content, take a moment to like this content and maybe even subscribe. Remember, try to accomplish something new every time you ride and never let your fears set your limits.